WrestleMania is seen as WWE's end of season. It's a time where wrestling storylines finally come to their natural conclusion. Some finally finish that feud with a long-standing foe. Others reach the top of their industry, therefore finally finishing their story and winning some sort of championship. However, there are those others that are left wanting more and needing some sort of character refresh to tell a different story for their character. Today's video is a little bit of a hear me out. Today, we will talk about 5 WWE superstars who I think need some sort of heel turn either on or immediately following WrestleMania 42. Before we get started though, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I know you like wrestling content because you're already here. All we do on this channel is talk wrestling. Now let's get into it. All right, my first one is an obvious one. I think it's one that we've all been asking for a long time. I think it's very much a possibility considering the WrestleMania match that we have on the cards for this guy, and that is Cody Rhodes turning heel at WrestleMania. We have a great opportunity in that he has a match against Randy Orton. The way that he got this match was not necessarily like nefarious reasons, right? But he definitely used his power. He definitely used the QB1 defense in order to get this match and win his title back from Drew McIntyre in a match that I don't think any of us were like super surprised over, but I don't think also any of us were super satisfied with the way that they told that story between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. So I think that there's definitely a way for Cody Rhodes to become that guy who just politics for himself, who uses his status, who uses his legacy, pun intended, to get what he wants within the WWE. He's up against a longtime fan favorite, Randy Orton. One of these two guys needs to turn heel. This match can't just be babyface versus babyface. It can be going into it, but I really don't think that this match ends that way. I don't think that both of these guys come out of this much unscathed and still being two of WWE's top babyfaces. I think it's an easier, more interesting story to tell that of Cody Rhodes turning heel. Maybe he's the one who attacked Jacob Fatu before that number one contenders match against Drew McIntyre. Yes, we've all been blaming Drew McIntyre, but it's never really been confirmed that it was Drew. Maybe he was the one that attacked Jey Uso before the Elimination Chamber and took him out of that match, right? Maybe it's just a story of this is Dusty's kid and he thinks that he deserves everything within the WWE. That's a story that WWE loves to tell as well. Whatever it may be, I do think that Cody Rhodes needs some sort of refresh. I don't think that he came out favorably with a lot of WWE fans after that match with Drew McIntyre. The way that story was told, I also don't think was an accident. I don't think that WWE had him kind of renege on that whole contract of he can never challenge for the WWE Championship again if he lost that 3 Stages of Hell match with Drew McIntyre. I don't think that story was told by accident. I do think that WWE has something under their sleeve, up their sleeve. What do you say? It's one of those. And I do think that it's a Cody Rhodes heel turn. I think that it's welcomed by a lot of people. Not that Cody Rhodes is, not that like face Cody Rhodes is bad in any way, but I do think that it's getting a little stale, right? And he's main evented the last, 3-4 WrestleManias up until now. And we're going to get another main event from him in WrestleMania 42. It's probably the night one main event, which isn't a main event. There's only one main event at WrestleMania, and it's the final match. But they're going to call it a main event, so this makes a 4th main event for him at WrestleMania. And yeah, I think a lot of fans are just a little bit tired. So I think a refresh for Cody Rhodes' character, a heel turn for Cody Rhodes' character, him turning against his longtime friend would be a perfect way of telling that story. And I don't think that any of us would be upset in any way about a heel turn for Cody Rhodes. This next one's also a little bit obvious in that WWE has already been hinting at this. Of course, none other than Sami Zayn. We've had a few weeks now with Sami Zayn kind of starting to show that side of him that's like upset about the way that he's being treated in the WWE, upset that other people are getting the shots that he thinks he deserves, upset that other wrestlers are reaching the top while he stays stale right before there. Like, sure, he's gotten title matches, he's gotten number one contender shots, but he's never quite reached the top. And he knows that has to do with the way that he approaches things. We've seen him have these weird conversations with Cody Rhodes, with Randy Orton, with Jacob Fatu, right? Kind of just questioning why he gets punished for things that other people don't. And that is a perfect reason, quite frankly, for him to turn heel. We saw a heel Sami Zayn during the pandemic years, during that Intercontinental title run. I feel like Sami Zayn is a much better heel than he is a face. This whole like little engine that could Sami Zayn character, this whole like close enough but not quite there, this whole underdog story that WWE is telling with Sami Zayn, I'm tired of it. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am tired of this story. I feel like Sami Zayn is one of the best workers within the WWE. And I do think he deserves better. So I think, honestly, just telling that story of Sami Zayn knowing that he deserves better, knowing that he should be getting the shots that other people are taking, but WWE, for some reason, isn't giving it to them. I think that story would be a perfect justification for him to turn heel. I think that even a little bit of that conspiracy theorist, Sami Zayn, that we saw during the pandemic, I think a little bit of that going into this would take him such a long way, especially considering everything that's happening between the bloodline and CM Punk, right? With the Usos and Roman Reigns going after CM Punk. CM Punk being like, why didn't Roman Reigns ever apologize to anyone? Sami Zayn is part of that. Sami Zayn is part of that. And I don't think that WWE is going to make Roman Reigns turn heel again. So I think that can also feed to that Sami Zayn character, right? I did everything. I had the tribal chiefs back. And then what happened? Not like the guy beat me out of his bloodline. Nothing changed about his character. He never apologized to anyone. And now he's a good guy and he's fighting for championships, but I'm still here being Sami Zayn. I think that there's just a lot of justification for Sami Zayn to have a heel turn, to be that justified heel, to be that Drew McIntyre type heel, right? Like the heel that is 100% right in all of his reasoning. So yeah, I think that it's welcomed, and I think that WWE needs to do something to turn Sami Zayn heel, either on or after WrestleMania 42. I think that Sami's going to have a match against Trick Williams at WrestleMania. I do think that that's the way that WWE is headed for him. So I think that match can easily be a double turn, right? Trick Williams is currently a heel. Sami Zayn is currently a face. I think if WWE play their cards right, they can tell an amazing story for both of these guys. And that's honestly the right call. Speaking of Roman Reigns, he and CM Punk have been having this heated feud, even though Roman Reigns has only been there 1 week since winning, or I guess 2 weeks since winning the Royal Rumble, since announcing that he wants to have a match against CM Punk at WrestleMania. Even though Roman Reigns has only been there for 2 weeks, the build for this match has been absolutely amazing, right? The feud that WWE has created with these two guys, mostly due to CM Punk's promo work. CM Punk is carrying this feud for the both of these guys, and I think that a heel CM Punk would be absolutely amazing coming out of WrestleMania 42, right? He's again a justified heel, saying all the right things. Yes, Roman Reigns hasn't apologized. Yes, Roman Reigns was an absolute a-hole to Cody Rhodes talking about Dusty Rhodes. Yes, Roman Reigns was an absolute a-hole to his entire family, to all of his cousins, to Paul Heyman, to Sami Zayn, and he's never apologized. CM Punk is absolutely right. However, Roman Reigns is just a fan favorite, and I don't think that the fans will ever turn on him again. So I think that the next best move, and I think honestly the right move, is to turn CM Punk heel at WrestleMania. I think if we get that guy that came into WWE, that returned at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago, what is it now, 2 years ago now. I think that guy that came in and his first promo back, he said that he wasn't here to make friends. He was here to make money. I think that that guy can be an absolutely amazing heel for the WWE. I think that CM Punk already toes that line. He already walks that fine line between heel and face, right? In a lot of ways, like Stone Cold, in a lot of ways, like The Rock, right? So I don't think it's a hard pivot to make CM Punk a heel. I think it's just, slight little tweaks to get him there instead of here. You know what I mean? And I feel like, yeah, CM Punk is a much better heel than he is a face. And I think that it would be the right move. I think, however he comes out of this match, whether he wins or loses, I think having him be a heel who only cares about himself, who only looks out for himself, again, a heel who speaks truth. So far, he has not lied about anything during this feud with Roman Reigns. So CM Punk turning heel at WrestleMania 42, I think would be the absolutely right call. This next one is a little bit selfish for me, and we'll get to why in a bit. But I think that Charlotte Flair needs to turn heel and attack Alexa Bliss after their championship match. I don't know if their match is going to be before WrestleMania. They did have that number one contenders match where they pointed at the WrestleMania sign. So that kind of leads me to believe that there's going to be some sort of tag team match at WrestleMania, some sort of women's tag team match for the titles at WrestleMania. Maybe it'll just be Lash Legend and Nia Jax versus Charlexa. Maybe it'll be a multi-team TLC after they have that match on a random SmackDown. But I do think we're going to get some sort of match for the belts at WrestleMania. And I think that after this match, Charlotte Flair should absolutely attack Alexa Bliss and turn heel and start a feud against her. Again, maybe this is a match that gets us to WrestleMania. Maybe they lose their shot before WrestleMania. They split up with enough time to build a match for WrestleMania. The reason I say that this is a selfish one for me is because I think it's time that we align Alexa Bliss with the Wyatt Six. And the best way to do that is, what did the Wyatts do in the beginning of their time in the WWE? They went after people that turned on their family. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss being best friends, being family, and Alexa Bliss being betrayed by her family is a perfect window for the Wyatt Six. The Wyatts are currently having a feud with the MFTs. I do think that feud is ending at WrestleMania. So beyond that, they can totally be a part of this. We can totally align Alexa Bliss with the Wyatt Six. We can totally have great matches in a feud between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, where, yes, like I said, at the end of it all, Alexa Bliss aligns herself with the Wyatt Six and joins the Wyatt family where she belongs. So that's my justification for that one. And finally, LA Knight needs to turn heel. I'm not going to build up to this. I'm just going to tell you straight out that I think LA Knight needs something different. It is clear to me that the match that we were supposed to have at WrestleMania was LA Knight versus Bronson Reed. Obviously, we're not getting that match anymore. Bronson Reed is out hurt, and LA Knight is kind of left without a WrestleMania opponent. I don't know who he faces at WrestleMania, if anyone at all. My best bet right now is maybe he faces a Penta, but this guy needs something. He is a fan favorite, sure. We all love LA Knight, yeah. But he needs to change something about his character to go after gold, right? He has held mid-card gold, and he's always been so close to main event gold, but not quite there. Maybe it's something revolving around Seth Rollins, right? We never really did get a fallout for them having that match. What was it, at Saturday night's main event, where Seth Rollins faked his injury? We never did get fallout from that. So sure, maybe we can do something like that. I honestly, my perfect pitch would be aligning him with Paul Heyman. I know that's an easy heel tactic. That's an easy turn. I don't think that WWE will do that. But WWE needs to do something with this guy, because yet he has everything that everyone loves. He is a fan favorite. He's great on the mic. He's a good ring worker. Yes, everybody likes to focus on his small botches, but who cares? Everyone botches. Get over it, guys. But he needs something to, some sort of character refresh. He needs something to change things up a little bit. I think when he was coming up as LA Knight, coming up, I don't know if he was coming up, right? Like the guy's been in the industry for a very long time, but when this LA Knight run began with him as a heel, I think that there was something there, and WWE was maybe too quick to turn him face because everyone was starting to like him and his merch was starting to sell. I think that WWE was too quick with that. I think that a heel LA Knight is best LA Knight, and like I said, I think we just need some sort of justification for him to go after the baby faces with the titles. Every or both of WWE's main champions are baby faces, so a heel LA Knight, we'll see how it all shakes up after WrestleMania, of course, right? But a heel LA Knight going after a babyface champion, I think would give us some really interesting stories. And I think it's just something that WWE needs to do for their sake and ours. There you have it. This is a little bit of a ranting video for me, but I don't know. I just feel like these 5 people that I talked about today, I just feel like they need something a little different coming out of WrestleMania. I like the stories that most of these people are having. I mean, LA Knight doesn't really have a story right now, but I think that after WrestleMania, once we hit that refresh button, I think that these people turning heel would make for some interesting new stories for WWE to tell, right? We haven't seen a heel Cody Rhodes. We haven't seen a heel CM Punk since he returned. We haven't seen a heel Sami Zayn at the top of the card. LA Knight, I think the heel turn will get him to where he needs to go. And then, like I said, Charlotte Flair, that one's a selfish one because I need Alexa Bliss with the Wyatts. But I think that these are the right calls. This is my hear me out video, like I said. But I don't know. Let me know your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that these 5 people should turn heel. Let me know if there's anyone that you think should turn heel coming out of WrestleMania 42. Someone that I didn't talk about in this video. Anyway, though, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to leave a comment. Let me know who you think should turn heel coming out of WrestleMania 42. As always, though, until next time, have a nice day. Did I say to hit the thing? I didn't. Hit my videos. There's going to be a video here somewhere. Check it out. It's fun. Anyway, until next time, have a nice day.